Down the Champs-Élysées, down the Champs-Élysées.
Wow, you speak French?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Well, we have our lesson on translation practice, and this is Karen.
And this is Shane, and we're going to talk about France
That's
today.
right. I do not speak French. Oh, I can say bonjour.
Bonjour.
And I really like that
Merci.
song. Merci. Yeah. And what else?
Have you been to France?
I have actually.
Ooh,
I've been to Paris, but when I was really, really young with my parents.
Do you have any memories of it?
Well, I remember that I visited the Eiffel Tower, and I remember the sunset was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was really young, we bought a lot of beautiful postcards too. And what else is there? I remember the food was great.
Really? So being that young, you still remember delicious food?
Yes.
I don't have very good experiences from Paris.
Really?
When I was there, some kid stole my hat.
Okay.
And then I had to chase him around. And I remember
Did you get it back?
No. And I remember when I got to Paris, there were a bunch of people with guns because there was some worry that there were terrorists there.
Oh, wow.
And I remember, except the very big tourist spots, a lot of places were quite dirty and seemed kind of dangerous and scary.
How many years ago was that?
And the food was so expensive, so I didn't really eat any delicious food. I felt, I didn't like it.
That sounded really horrible. How many years ago was that?
That was like 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe things have changed a little bit. I mean, I visited when I was really, really young. So I would like to go back and see it. But it's amazing how we can have, such different experiences with the same place.
And it's such a romantic place. People think of it that way, but I didn't have that experience.
Really?
So don't have too high of expectations. Keep your expectations low.
Then you might just be really, really satisfied with the place.
Okay. Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Translation practice. Practice A.
Of all the major cities in the world, Paris is the one that I have been longing to see for years. Recently, I've taken up French in hopes of being able to communicate with the locals when I visit France one day.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
Hi, I'm Hanny.
Welcome to the translation practice lesson. Today, Hanny and I will be translating four sentences with all of you. We will be translating from Chinese into English as always.
Correct. Okay, it is time to get started. Let's take a look at the first sentence of the day. 今天要翻译的第一个句子是，在全世界所有大都市中，巴黎是我多年来一直想去看看的地方。那么主词是巴黎，动词是。要表达巴黎是怎么样的地方，我们可以说 Paris is the city that 怎么样怎么样。这边呢就是用关系子句去形容是什么样的地方。好，那由于前半句有提到所有大都市，已经用到 cities。好，我们避免重复呢，就可以改用代名词 one 来代替 city。那我就会写作说 Paris is the one that 怎么样怎么样。这个句子在描述事实，所以时态是用现在简单式。
Okay, there are three things to discuss in sentence number one. The first of these is the phrase of all plus noun. Of all plus noun. We can use this phrase when indicating or saying that one thing stands out when compared to a range of other similar things. You're basically choosing one thing out of many things, or you're singling out one thing from many things. Now, in this case, this phrase is similar to out of all plus noun. Anyways, when you say, of all the major cities in the world, you're making it clear that you will be selecting a major city or maybe a smaller group of major cities. You're picking a major city that stands out or which might be more important than the other major cities of the world. It has some characteristic that does make it exceptional, let's say. For example, of all the places in the world you could have visited, you chose to go to your next door neighbor's house?
在世界上所有你可以造访的地方当中，你选择的是要去隔壁邻居家。除非你邻居是奇异博士，或者他有任意门，可以带你去任何一个地方，不然这也太奇怪了吧。好，那么 of all 加上名词就表示在所有的什么什么当中。例如 of all the steakhouses in the city, this one is my favorite. 在这个城市里所有的牛排馆当中，这一间是我的最爱。Okay, your neighbor's house? This person could have gone anywhere, and they chose their neighbor's house? That's nuts. What about Paris or India or Brazil?
Yeah, what about some really exceptional place? Think of all the places they could have gone. Anyway, everyone, let's move on. It is time to tackle this sentence's second explanation. For years. Everyone, this is a common phrase that you can use to talk about a long, unspecific amount of time. If you've been doing something for years, let's say, you've been doing that thing for a long, long time, for more than a year at least. You could also say that you've been doing that thing for ages. For example, I have been living abroad for years.
Jeff 老师来台湾住很多年了。那当我们用 for 加上一段时间，就可以表达持续了多久。For years 就表示多年来很久。例如 We've known each other for years 就表示我们彼此认识很久了，认识很多年了。Okay, now it's time to finish up sentence number 1. I have been longing to finish this sentence for a long time. I've been wanting to do this for minutes.
Hanny, if you're going to use a phrase like 4 years, okay, you're going to need to use a longer period of time. You could say for years, for hours, for days, for weeks, etc. For minutes, that might not work. It's too short a period of time. Anyways, let's get down to business and help Hanny to get something close to what she's actually been longing for, the completion of this sentence. Here's the phrase, have been longing to see. First of all, everyone, the word long is being used here as a verb. We're not saying that something is long. Nope, nope, nope. Here, if you've been longing for something, you've been wanting that thing. You've been desiring that thing. You've been craving that thing or yearning for that thing. Now, one note, the verb long can be followed by either to verb or for n or for noun. Further, if something has been going on or things have been going on, this thing or these things are currently ongoing and they also started in the past. So, let's put it all together. If you've been longing to do something, or if you've been longing for something, you have a desire, and you've had that desire for quite a while, too. For example, I have been longing to go back to Chicago for years. I'd love to visit again.
Jeff 老师以前有一段时间在芝加哥念书，他一直想要回去那边看一看。那这边我们来学习现在完成进行式，它的句型是 have been 加上动词 ing。那这是用来强调从过去到现在一直持续进行的动作或是状态。后面呢可以搭配 for 加一段时间来表达动作持续了多久。你也可以搭配 since 加上开始的时间来表达自从什么什么这个动作就一直持续进行到现在。举例来说。He's been playing video games for 3 hours. 他已经打电动打了3个小时，现在都还在打哦。再看一个例句 I've been trying to reach her since this morning. 我从今天早上就一直试着要跟她取得联系，到现在都还试着要联络她。好，那我们要翻译一直想看看，可以说 have been longing to see。其中这个 long 当动词就表示渴望，后面可以接不定词 to be 或者是接 for 加名词。像你可以说 long for peace 就表示渴望和平。那我们来造个例句。I've been longing to visit Iceland for years. 我多年来一直都想去造访冰岛。好，那现在已经看完相关文法，重点可以翻译整个句子咯。So the sentence could be
Of all the major cities in the world, Paris is the one that I have been longing to see for years. Okay, everyone, sentence number 1 is now in the books. Good work. We're not done, though. It is now time to translate sentence number 2.
好，今天翻译的第二个句子是：最近我开始学法文，希望有一天我去法国游览时能与当地人沟通。好，主词是我，动词是开始学。我们要表达近来怎么样，最近怎么样，可以用到 recently。Lately 或者是 these days。 好，那它们常常会搭配现在完成式，所以我们的时态就是用现在完成式。
Okay, for this sentence, we have 4 things to discuss. The first one is take up plus noun or verb ing. Now, this phrase looks tricky, but when you figure out what it means, you'll probably never forget it. Okay? Here, you're not picking up or lifting something and then taking it somewhere. Okay? No. That's not what taking up means. No. If you take up something, if you take up a noun or verb ing, you start doing that thing. You begin to do that thing. You start doing something like you pick up a hobby, let's say. You can take up that hobby. For example, in his old age, he took up speed walking in order to stay fit.
他老年的时候开始以健走的方式来维持健康。好，这个片语动词 take up 除了指占据，像是占据时间、占据空间，它还可以用来表达开始从事。像你可以表达开始从事某个活动啊、兴趣或是工作等等。那记得后面是接名词或动名词。例如 ，He took up photography as a hobby when he was 17. 他17岁的时候开始把摄影当作嗜好。Okay, why wait? Let's take a look at our next explanation right now.
Good idea. In hopes or in the hope of noun or verb ing, or in hopes or in hope of noun verb ing, or in hopes or in the hope that subject plus verb, or in hopes or in hope that subject plus verb. Whew. Anyways, these phrases refer to one's hopes or expectations. If you do A in hopes of B, you're hoping for B, or you have an expectation of B. For instance, I went to the beach this weekend in the hope of getting a suntan. Sadly, this didn't happen, but I was still expecting to get a tan. I was still hoping for it, etc., even if the weather made this impossible. For example, I went back to the store in the hope that I could get a refund.
Jeff 老师刚刚的例句是说，他回到那间店，希望可以得到退款。那这边我们来学习 in hopes 的用法。in hopes 或是 in the hope 或是 in hope 后面都可以接 that 子句，或者是接 of 加名词或动名词来表达希望怎么样、盼望怎么样。像是 She started jogging every day in hopes of losing weight. 她开始每天慢跑，希望可以瘦下来，把体重减下来。Okay, everyone, we're now halfway through sentence number 2. Hang in there.
Right. Hang in there, and one day you'll look back and be happy that you did. One day, or someday. If you hope to do something one day or someday, You'd like to do it at some point in the future, but you're not sure when you'll be able to do it. One note, the phrase one day can also be used to refer to something that occurred at some point in the past, as in, then one day I realized that going to Brazil would probably be quite expensive. So I realized this in the past, but when I did so, that's not so clear. By the way, the phrase someday cannot be used in this way. It can't be used to refer to the past. For example, someday I'm going to open a burger restaurant in my neighborhood.
将来有一天 Jeff 老师说他在附近这一区开一间汉堡餐厅。好 ，one day 跟 someday 都可以用来指将来有一天、有朝一日。不过要特别注意 ，one day 它可以指将来的某一天，或者是过去的某一天。可是 someday 只能用来表达未来的某一天。例如。She hopes to become a well-known actress someday. 她希望有朝一日能成为知名演员。那这边的 someday 就可以用 one day 来替换。再造一个例句 ：One day she came across her ex-boyfriend on her way home. 有一天，她在回家途中遇见前男友。好，那这时候这个 one day 就是在讲过去的某一天，我们就不能用 someday 来替换喽。Well, Jeff, you want to open a burger restaurant?Really? Why?
Well, Annie, I cook a good burger. I really do. And I think it would be fun to run a restaurant. I'd be able to feed and to communicate with the people of my neighborhood. Speaking of which, communicate with the locals. I think we all know what communicating is all about. If you communicate, you talk with others, you express yourself, you pass on news and other information, etc. You can communicate using language, using gestures, etc. Anyway, if you communicate with the locals, you communicate with the people who live in and who are usually native to a certain area. Yes, here the word local is a noun and not an adjective, and this noun refers to the people who live in and who have lived in a certain area or place for a long time. For example, the locals in this part of the world are very welcoming to strangers.
这里的当地人很好客，对陌生人很友善、很热情。好，那么 local 这个字可以当形容词来形容当地的、本地的，也可以当名词来表达当地人、本地人。所以我们要表达与当地人沟通，英文可以说 communicate with the locals。例如 ，They communicated with the locals.Through body language， 他们透过肢体语言跟当地人沟通。好，现在已经看完相关文法重点，可以翻译整个句子喽。So the sentence could be:
Recently, I've taken up French in hopes of being able to communicate with the locals when I visit France one day. Okay, everyone, we did it. The first half of today's lesson is complete.We're now halfway done with our entire lesson.
Yep, and that means it is time for a break. But don't go away, folks. We'll be back with the second half of this month's translation practice lesson after this.
Translation practice. Practice B.
Once in a while, we may feel frustrated if we fail to reach the goals we set in our lives.I believe that as long as we keep trying, we will ultimately become successful.
Welcome back. Hanny and I are going to begin the second half of this month's translation practice right now.
Yes, we are. Let's take a look at sentence number 3 right now. 今天要翻译的第三个句子是有时，如果我们未能达成设定的人生目标，可能因此感到沮丧。好，主词是我们，动词是感到沮丧。那要表达如果我们怎么样怎么样，可能怎么样怎么样，这时候可以用 if 引导的条件句来表达。好，那要记得 if 子句我们是用现在式，然后主要子句则是用 we may 加上原形动词。
Okay, there are 3 things to go over in sentence number 3. First of all, we'll discuss the following phrases. Once in a while, from time to time, sometimes, or every now and then, or now and then. In a lesson not too long ago, we learned that if something happens often or frequently, it happens a lot. That's not the case here. Okay, if something happens once in a while, from time to time, sometimes, or every now and then, or now and then, it does not happen a lot. It happens, but not often. Very simply, if you do something once in a while, from time to time, sometimes, or every now and then, or now and then, etc., you do this thing, but you don't do it a lot. You might not even remember when you did it last or when you'll do it again either. For example, I go camping from time to time to remind myself of why I dislike camping so much.
Jeff 老师真的很讨厌露营 camping， 他有时候会去露营来提醒自己到底有多讨厌这一项户外活动。好，那我们来看一下 once in a while, from time to time, sometimes 或者是 every now and then 或是 now and then 这些片语都可以表达有时候或者是偶尔。例如 they eat out once in a while 就是说他们有时候会去外面吃饭，很简单吧？ So do you really dislike camping that much?
You have no idea. I have tried to like camping. I really have. I have failed, though, to develop an appreciation for it. I have failed in that way. Anyway, it looks like it's time to look over the second explanation for sentence number 3. Fail to reach the goals we set. If you fail, you try to do something, but your attempt is unsuccessful. Yeah, if you fail a test, you don't do well. You get an F. Now, if you fail to do something, very simply, you don't do it, even though you might have tried with all of your heart and effort to do that thing. You just came up short. Now, that brings us to our phrase here. Fail to reach the goals we set. Now, to reach your goals is to do something successfully. If you reach your goals, you achieve something that you have been working towards. Yeah, you've been working towards this goal that you have set for yourself. Anyway, so if you fail to reach your goal, let's say, you are unsuccessful in your quest to achieve something, and that's that altogether. For example, if we don't work hard, we will fail to reach the goals we have set for ourselves.
如果不努力，我们会无法达成自己设定的目标。好 ，fail to reach the goals we set， 就是说未能达成设定的目标。那这边有2个重点要注意 ，fail 这个动词表示失败。那么 fail to 加上原形动词就可以表达未能怎么样，无法怎么样。例如 ，They failed to finish the project in time。他们没能及时完成那个企划案，没办法做到这件事。好，那至于 reach the goal 或者是 reach one's goal， 就表示达成目标，达成某人的目标，像是。You shouldn't let fear stop you from reaching your goals. 你不该让恐惧阻止自己达成目标。Okay, good news, everyone. We're almost done discussing this sentence.
That's good news. If only I didn't feel so frustrated and depressed and down. This good news might have made me feel better. To feel frustrated, depressed, or down. No, I feel fine. Everybody, I feel fine. I feel great. I do not feel frustrated or depressed or down. If I were really feeling frustrated, depressed, or down, I'd be pretty unhappy. You see, if you're depressed or down, you're in a sad mood. You feel blue, upset, or low. Now, feeling frustrated is similar. When you feel frustrated, though, you feel a little bit upset because there's something you can't figure out or solve or do. For example, Harry has felt down since his dog died.
自从他的狗狗过世以来 ，Harry 一直都很沮丧。好，我们要表达感到沮丧，英文可以说 feel frustrated， 或是 feel depressed， 或是 feel down。好，其中这个 frustrated 它是形容沮丧的、挫折的或是气馁的 ，depressed 则是形容沮丧的、意志消沉的。举例来说。Some people tend to listen to sad music when they're feeling down. 有些人感到沮丧的时候，常常会听悲伤的歌。记住，伤心的人别听慢歌，要听点别的音乐来振奋自己的精神哦。好，那现在已经看完相关文法重点，可以翻译整个句子了。So the sentence could be:
Once in a while, we may feel frustrated if we fail to reach the goals we set in our lives.Okay,
it is sentence number 4 time. That means we're almost done with today's lesson. 好，今天要翻译的第4个句子是我认为只要我们不断尝试，最终会成功的。好，这个主词是我，动词是认为。那句子是在做事实的陈述，所以时态用现在简单式。
Well said, Hanny. Well
Thank
said.
you.
Anyways, we're going to be discussing 2 things in this sentence.Okay, we'll begin by talking about 2 phrases that can act as conjunctions. As long as or so long as. As I said before, these phrases function or they act as conjunctions. They bring ideas within a sentence together, or to be more precise, they join clauses. Now, these 2 phrases are similar in that they provide a condition for something to be true or to happen. Okay? Note, you can put these phrases either before or after the main clause of your sentence. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at some examples. For example, you can invite your friends over as long as you don't wreck the house. Or, so long as you live in this house,You'll obey the rules.
Jeff 老师第一个例句是说，只要你不会损坏房子，弄得像跳厝一样，你就可以邀请朋友来家里。那第二个例句是说，只要你还住在这个家里，你就得守规矩。希望 Jeff 老师以后不用对孩子说这句话。OK, as long as 或者是 so long as 就表示说只要怎么样就怎么样。好，那他们是用来引导表示条件的副词子句。他们引导的子句呢，可以摆在主要子句的前面或是后面。例如 The dish is easy to cook as long as you follow the recipe. 只要照食谱来做，这道菜就会煮起来很简单了。Wow, Jeff, you sound like a strict father. Obey the rules.
That was just an example sentence, Hanny. I like to think of myself as a cool dad. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Let's get started on the final explanation of the day. Ultimately, eventually, finally, or in the end. Now, these words and phrases mean about the same thing. If something happens ultimately, eventually, finally, or in the end, this thing happens after much time has passed or after much has occurred. This thing happens as though it were destined to happen and not as though it were forced or planned out, etc. Anyways, if something happens ultimately, eventually, finally, or in the end, something ends up in a certain way. After a lot has gone down, after much ado, or after a lot of random weird stuff has happened in between. Anyways, for example, eventually, he ended up marrying his high school sweetheart at age 42.
有些人在情场打滚多年，到最后他的结婚对象却是以前的青梅竹马，或是以前中学时期的情人。好，那我们来看几个副词 ：ultimately、eventually， 还有 finally， 以及这个片语 in the end， 这些用法都可以表达出最终怎么样、终究怎么样的语义。例如 ，in the end, They made up and became friends again. 最后他们和好又变成朋友了。好，那么现在已经看完所有文法，重点可以翻译最后一个句子喽。So the sentence could be
I believe that as long as we keep trying, we will ultimately become successful.
Okay, with that everyone, this month's lesson is now complete.
For now, everyone, it is time to say goodbye. But remember, we'll be back next month with more translation practice. We'll see you then.
Hello, everybody. I'm your favorite host, Holly.
And I am the older host, Shane.
Yes.
But I'm not old. I'm just older.
所以它的差别在哪里？我们今天要来看年长，对象不太一样哦。所以第一个我们要看的是 elder， 第二个 older。 Alright， 第一个 elder 呢，我们中文会说是长辈，对不对？那英文你会怎么去解释？
因为是英文里面，好感觉是有点尊重，然后那个人真的是老人，就是不是比较，他真的是老，
所以可能就是要60几岁之后才可以叫 elder。
然后那感觉就是有点尊重在，就是真的尊重这个人，对，
比较像是有智慧的老人吗？啊，不要叫老人，我们要说长辈，不好意思。所以比如说我的长辈给我一个非常有智慧的建议。
My elders gave me some very wise advice.
啊 ，OK， 那 older 呢 ？older 的差别是什么？
就是个比较。Right?
啊，
对，所以弟弟跟就是哥哥，就算他们3岁跟10岁，一个只是哥哥当然是 older，
所以他只是说年纪比较大，对不对？
对，就是一个比较。
OK， 所以 older 其实就是它本身是形容词，那 elder 是名词，它的差别就是呢，这个人年纪比较大，但是他不一定是老人，就这样。
对
，Easy， Yeah。所以比如说，你可以说，他的车是2辆车里面比较老的那一个。
Of the 2 cars, his is older.
All right,
Live
easy
action.
peasy.
Live action.
Live action. Get out of my way.
Hey, what's wrong with you? Don't you know you should respect your elders?
Just because you're older than me doesn't mean you're my elder.
Well, technically it does.
Well, technically, I don't care. You know what I mean? You might be older than me, but you act like a child. See? You're so immature. Respect my elders. Whatever. Get out of my way.